What's up guys, my name is Ace, and yesterday in Modern Warfare 3, we got the brand new JAK Thumper Kit for the RGL-80 Launcher, and with this kit, it opens up 3 different ammo types. We've got the Slug, the Drill, as well as the sticky ammo, and that's what we're going to be breaking down today. But before we get into that, I've got some exciting news. You might notice my gameplay in this is against bots. That's simply because I don't have time to hop in and unlock this and then get gameplay with it. And I have a really good excuse. My daughter was born over the weekend, so I have been away in the hospital, and we just got home a couple days ago, so we're still getting settled in, and I'm basically just living that sleepless dad life right now, so not really working on videos a whole lot. I am going to be squeezing in some work here or there, but obviously family comes first, so I won't be hesitating to miss the odd day. And another thing is there won't be any live streams for a few days at least. Maybe next week I'll start squeezing them in. But there's my little update. Both the mom and baby are very healthy and everything's going really well. So let's dive into the breakdown with this JAK Thumper Kit. And the first thing to point out is if you just put the kit on this gun, it doesn't really do a whole lot. All it does is it makes your aim down sight speed worse and your sprint to fire time worse. And it will also give you a red dot sight instead of this default optic that you would get on that. But outside of that, nothing else changes with the kit, aside from the fact that it opens up your ammunition slot. And this is where the real changes start to come in, is when you combine this with one of these ammo types. And let's start this off with the Slug ammo. Now with this one, if you look at the damage values in the advanced stats, it appears you won't be able to get a one-shot kill in core game modes, even to the head. And also, when you test it in the firing range, it seems to support that theory, that you can't get a one-shot kill with this. However, based on my testing in actual custom games against actual player models, this isn't actually the case. These damage values don't apply to real games, and instead, we actually do have a one-shot kill potential to the upper torso and arms, as well as the head, at effectively any range with this launcher. Now, I tested this beyond 50 meters, and I was still getting the exact same damage values to the body. However, at that point, this is where the Slug spread and drop will start to throw you off target, so you will lose effectiveness at longer ranges, because you just won't be able to hit things accurately. Because, yes, like I just said there is a fair amount of drop on this, and then on top of that, there does appear to be some aim down sight spread, so the shot isn't going to go exactly where you're aiming. It could deviate a little bit. Now, in the vast majority of ranges you'll find in the 6v6 maps, this shouldn't be causing too many issues for you. It's just when you try to like snipe somebody across the map where you'll be missing shots where it looked like you were right on point. Now, on top of this, it turns out the Slug doesn't actually have to hit the enemy player in order for you to deal damage to them. There is still a small amount of splash damage, but the maximum amount of splash damage, if you shoot directly between their feet, but you don't hit the character model directly, this is 50. So it will be a 3-shot kill if you shoot 3 rounds directly between their feet or right by their foot. And the range on this splash damage is just 2 meters. It's not a big range by any means, and it's not necessarily going to be an effective method for killing enemy players unless they're already hurt really bad. You might be able to finish them off with that. Also, another thing I didn't mention yet, if you're using Slug, this very noticeably improves your fire rate as well, all the way up to 171 rounds per minute. That's a 93% increase, which is excellent. And while it does also help our recoil values a little bit, if you look at the advanced stats, you can see there is a fair amount of recoil if you spam this at the maximum fire rate. It'll kick upward and to the right, and generally speaking, it's going to take you some time to recenter that shot. And therefore, spamming it at the maximum fire rate is often not going to be your best bet. So there we go, that's the Slug, and I've got to say, this is the most effective method of using the RGL in the game right now. So if you haven't grinded the camos out for this yet, or you just want to play around with one of these and you want to know which one is best, I would definitely go with the Slug. As for the next one we're going to take a look at though, this is the sticky ammo. So as the name implies, you're going to be firing a sticky grenade out of this, so when you fire it, it will stick to a surface or a player if you direct impact them, and then it will explode. And with this, unlike with the Slug that improves our rate of fire, this one will actually harm our rate of fire down to 68 rounds per minute. And with this, it's quite interesting to note, if we're just looking at the explosive damage from the sticky grenade, we've got a total range of just 4.5 meters, which isn't a very good range at all. It's super easy to just get out of the way if you see the indicator for one of these. And at the edge of that range, you're only dealing 50 damage to enemy players. And then more importantly, on the innermost portion of that range, so if you shoot this right next to their foot without hitting them directly, you're only dealing 100 damage. And that's against players that aren't using EOD. So that means the sticky ammo with the JAK Thumper Kit will not be a one-hit kill against full health enemy players in core game modes at least, unless you direct impact them, in which case you deal 130 damage right up front from that projectile hitting them, and then the explosion will deal the rest of the damage. So even if they have EOD, this will kill them with a direct impact, but without a direct impact, you aren't getting any one-shot kills unless that enemy is already hurt, or unless you're playing hardcore game modes. And then now let's move into the final ammo type you can put on when using this kit, and this is the 40mm drill charge, which works somewhat similar to the drill charge equipment that you throw, but it's not nearly as powerful as that drill charge equipment. But the first thing to point out here is, just like with the sticky ammo, we see a rate of fire reduction, and it's actually the same rate of fire reduction, so our rate of fire with this is 68 rounds per minute. And of course, with this, when you shoot a wall, you have a little drill charge that goes through, it'll shoot out the other side, and then it will explode, dealing damage to players on the other side of that wall. And let's have a look at the comparison of this compared to the thrown drill charge. And as we can see, our explosive radius with the drill charge ammo is just 8 meters, compared to the 10-meter radius of the throwable drill charge. Then another thing to point out is, just like with the sticky grenade, the explosion on this only deals 100 damage right at the epicenter of that. So even if this lands right between your feet, it's not going to kill a full health enemy. And then it deals 50 damage on the outside radius, so right at 8 meters, that's where you're receiving only 50 damage. Whereas with that throwable drill charge, we actually get a one-hit kill with this against non-EOD users out to 3.8 meters. So this ammo on the RGL launcher is very significantly weaker than a thrown drill charge. But obviously the upside here that I didn't really mention with the sticky grenade, but it also applies with that, is it's a bit spammable. Sure, the rate of fire isn't super strong, but if you know somebody's just on the other side of the wall and you want to force them out of an area, you could spam a few shots at that wall with this, and they're gonna have to move. Otherwise, they will get blown up by that second or maybe even third drill charge going off. And there we go, that wraps it up for the base breakdown of these ammo types. However, I wanted to tag on one last section here, and I'm sure many of you guys are already asking this to yourself, what about riot shields? Are these different ammo types an effective counter to a riot shield? Well, in the case of the Slug, just straight up no. If you shoot a riot shield user in the shield itself, you're not going to be getting a kill. Now, of course, you could take advantage of that small amount of splash damage and shoot near their feet, but that's going to take you 3 or 4 shots to kill that player if you do that. However, with both the sticky ammo and the drill charge ammo, it only takes 1 stick to that riot shield to kill that player, regardless of whether or not they're also using EOD padding. And that now makes this launcher, with those 2 ammo types in particular, the best counter to riot shield users in the game. Right up close and personal, I would still say the JAK Purifier, that underbarrel flamethrower, that's still the best counter to a riot shield user. But if you're at a bit of a distance, use this JAK Thumper Kit combined with either sticky or drill charge, doesn't matter which one, and you will be able to just one-shot that riot shield user. And with that, that's going to wrap it up for today's video on the full breakdown of the JAK Thumper Kit for the RGL-80. As for my thoughts on this, I think it's really cool what they've done here, at least based on what I'm seeing so far. Keeping in mind, of course, I don't have any actual playtime with it yet, simply because I don't have the time for that at the moment, but I am excited to eventually get this unlocked and try it out. The Slug seems like a really fun method of using this, nice, interesting challenge, whereas the others, while they might not be as effective overall, I think they have a place at least in the game, and I love that they're an excellent riot shield counter. Now, of course, these are just my opinions, and I'd love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. How are you feeling about this JAK Thumper Kit for the RGL-80? If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.